All right, what's up, everyone? Hopefully, you guys have been doing well. And if you have not watched last week's video of where I was talking to brother Jacob about his experiences at the the Christian camp called HLUB, go and watch that video. Don't worry, I'll be right here when you get back. And so, if not, go please watch it. You're gonna miss a lot of stuff, and you probably won't understand what I'm talking about today. So go back and watch it, and then come back and watch it, please. And so, for those who did watch it, or I guess welcome back, all that stuff, it's just talking with Brother Jacob last week about his experiences and all that stuff. It's that is exactly what we as youth leaders or parents or just a spiritual leader in general, that is what we all love to see. They're like they come back from camp, and they share with you the some of the things that they've learned, and just you see a fire in their eyes for God now. And it's like, and they come back with a heart to serve not only God but of course his people as well. But like besides those things, we as of course the spiritual leaders, we want to see change in their life. And so, but I mean, of course, sometimes the change doesn't last long, or there just may be no guarantees that you'll have a changed life after you go to a camp such as HLUB or Standing Stones or all that stuff. But what I do guarantee you is that you will see, or you will meet, sorry, you will meet like-minded people who may have similar interests, or they're on the walk with God as well. So like you guys share that in common, or have God in common, or just, or you will meet people who are spiritually more mature than you that can help you along your faith journey as well. And plus, technology has made it so that each one of us can connect with each other now. So there is no excuse for you not to grow in your spiritual walk. Or I guess reach out to people who are spiritually more mature than you are for guidance in your spiritual walk, or just in life in general. No excuses. But I mean, apart from that, I mean, it's very entertaining. It's very fun. It's just a new experience. So it beats whatever you're doing at home. So yeah, I mean, it's only a couple of $100, but I mean, it's worth it. It's really worth it. So besides those, I mean, those are pretty much like a good reasons why reasons why I would encourage and everyone else would encourage camps such as HLUB or Standing Stones and all that stuff. But one in particular is that I would say that you will find God's call in your life. And that is perfectly explained in Mark chapter 12, verse 30 through 31. And it says this. It says, "And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these." And so, want to know God's will for your life? Boom, there we go. You just now know it. And so, pretty much going to one of these camps, it has the potential to deepen your faith with God, and also it gives you a heart to love other people just as Christ had loved you. And so, just like my personal testimony now, it's it was back in 2013, Camp Standing Stones. The theme was Awaken. I'm not sure if you guys can see this. Yeah. Okay. And the theme verse is in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 13 through 15, and it reads this. It says, "But everything exposed by the light becomes visible, and everything that is illuminated becomes a light. This is why it is said, 'Wake up, sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you.' Be very careful, then, how you live, not as unwise, but as wise." And so just one of the things I'll share with you guys, one of the things I've learned from that camp is there are people who are quote unquote spiritually asleep. And pretty much those people are people who either don't know about God, or they may don't care about God. And then there are other people who are called the spiritually awake, who are pretty much the exact opposite of the spiritually asleep people. And so, I mean, bringing it to a real life example now, of course, we've all had to wake people up before. Well, most of us, you could say. And sometimes it doesn't go the way we want. Sometimes they're tired, or they rebel, or they go back to sleep after you woke them up, or pretty much it's hard to wake them up. But yet, we will do everything we can to wake them up because we know the consequences of what will happen if they don't wake up. Of course, if you're waking people up for school, if they miss school, then they miss the bus, or you got to take them to school, or you guys will miss a day of school, or you got to wake up to go to work. You'll get in trouble at work. But in this case, we're talking about spiritual stuff. And so the consequences of not being spiritually awoken is, of course, hell. And so that is the consequence that we all think of when, of course, people don't get spiritually woken up. So it is the job of, or the duty of the one who is awake to wake up the sleeper, and however they can, in order for them to actually wake up and realize stuff. But also, once the person who is awoke, once they are woken up, their job now, since they know what will happen if they stayed asleep, their duty now is to go and wake other people up. And of course, that person wakes up, and then they go wake up another person, and another person, and another person. Of course, it's like a contagious disease. Once one person's infected, it'll infect the other person, and then the other person, and then the other person. That kind of sounds like a very dangerous disease in 2020, or I should say 2019, that has been plaguing us for a couple years now. And so, I'll end with this. Of course, we know that contagious disease is the coronavirus. And you probably clicked on this video because you were curious of what can be deadlier than the coronavirus. Well, I'll tell you this. What is deadlier than the coronavirus is a believer who is on fire for God. How, Mike? How is that stronger or greater, deadlier than the coronavirus? Well, you see this. The coronavirus affects our life here and now on earth. But the believer that is on fire for God, he or she has the impact to affect your life here, not only here and now, but also in the afterlife as well. Meaning, of course, he or she can give you the wisdom, knowledge of God to apply to your lives here and now, to live your lives. But also, since you do know, of course, Jesus now, it affects your spiritual eternity as well, whether you will go to heaven or hell. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly why a believer who is on fire for God is more deadlier than the coronavirus. And of course, many times they go to camps such as HLUB or Standing Stones to find that fire for God and begin their faith journey so that they can, of course, help other people, serve other people, and bring them to God, and so that He can work in their lives, and of course provide that the love and all that stuff that a heavenly Father provides, and also the greatest gift of them all, which is of course being with God Himself in heaven.